Salut tout le monde, bienvenue à un autre live de Flight Simulator 2020. Welcome everybody to another Flight Sim 2020. Aujourd'hui, un petit vol Airbus 320 de Heathrow à Londres jusqu'à Amsterdam. Amsterdam. Donc, on est déjà à la gate, on va faire le ravitaillement. Par la suite, on va faire le boarding. So we will start with the refueling. And the catering, like every
Please
game.
don't load aircraft until the fuel truck arrives and ask to do it.
All right. So we have the fuel truck coming in. So just checking all my stuff.
Catering vehicles are on their way.
Welcome guys to the stream. Just gonna do a quick reset.
Fuel truck is in position. Please don't load aircraft until the fuel truck arrives and ask to do it.
So if you're new to, not new, but if you're used to Flight Simulator and you know how to fix micro stuttering, I've been cracking my head to try to find out how to remove the little tiny stuttering while gaming. All right. It might not appear on the stream, but when I play, I can see a little stuttering that's very annoying. So we'll go in the aircraft.
Please use your airplane fuel system to set the desired fuel quantity.
Fuel. All right. That's good. Should be. Oops.
Please use your airplane fuel system to set the desired fuel quantity.
I already did. What's wrong with this? Pum pum pum. It says complete. Okay. Done. Sit in my third party option. Okay, so fuel.
Please use your airplane fuel system to set the desired fuel quantity.
It should be. It's the second time it does that with the refueling of GSX. We'll wait until the catering is finished and we'll reset the GSX program. No worries. All right.
Please use your airplane fuel system to set the desired fuel quantity.
Try one more time, just to. Okay, fuel, fast. Completed.
Please use your airplane fuel system to set the desired fuel quantity.
All right, the fuel is done. We'll restart the qualt. All right, let's request boarding.
Boarding requested.
We should have our conveyor belt. Moving on.
Do you want to board crew? Pilot
Yes.
boarding starting.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Should see our captain come in.
Departure check completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Here's our captain, which is myself.
Locking gear.
Way too soon.
Crew boarding starting.
Good afternoon, co-pilot. Are you ready for our departure to Amsterdam?
Good afternoon, Alan. Yes, we're all set for our departure to Amsterdam.
Perfect. I will power up the plane. Overhead panel.
Great, Alan. Let me know when you're ready for the clearance.
Right. Fuel. Oxygen. IR1, IR3, R2. No smoking sign. Nav logo. Beacon. APU bleed. Master switch.
3 to on.
Start.
Your crew has boarded.
CR APU. Engine systems. Alright, so our clearance is 1 to 8. MCDU. So it's one clearance is 121.98. 121.98. Okay. Welcome on board, flight attendants. You can start the boarding when ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard British Airways Flight 0550, departing from London to Amsterdam. We are delighted to have you with us today. Please make sure your seatbelts are fastened and your seat backs are in the upright
MCDU.
position as we prepare for departure. Our flight time is approximately 48 minutes. Thank you for choosing to fly with us, and we hope you enjoy your journey.
Wind temp. Our preference.
Passengers boarding starting.
137.40. 145. Enter. Our fuel block.
Request clearance to Barcelona. Barcelona via the Maxi 1 Foxtrot departure, that is fine. Departure runway 27 right, initial climb 4000. Departure on 125.625, squawk 2746. And we have information India, Speedbird 69.
Speedbird 69, read back correct. Ground is on 121.905, safe flight, sir.
No, 121.905, Speedbird 69.
Good afternoon, London Heathrow clearance, Air Canada, British Airways 0550 requesting IFR clearance to Amsterdam. The hell? Why did the... Good afternoon, Heathrow clearance, British Airways 0550 requesting IFR clearance to Amsterdam. Why is nobody listening on 121.98? Is working fine. Let's do. Alright, MCDU. MCDU. Let's do our departure runway, which is 27 right. We're going by Pevka. Insert. And Amsterdam runway 27 via red F1A. Insert. So we don't have any mismatch. Ah, one. Let's try again. Good afternoon, Heathrow clearance. British Airways 0550 requesting IFR clearance to Amsterdam. Ah, je peux même pas.
This is what the ATC audio sounds like, and next
It
is what yours
changed.
sounds like.
Good afternoon, neutral clearance, British Airways 98. It's 121, decimal 98. Okay. Good afternoon, neutral clearance, British Airways 0550 requesting IFR clearance to Amsterdam. No audio from Mike. Good afternoon, Heathrow clearance, British Airways 0550 requesting IFR clearance to Amsterdam.
I'll grab that clearance. Give me just
All right, all right. So we got
Seabird 0550. Information whiskey is current. Cleared to Amsterdam Schiphol via the Brookmans Park 7 Golf departure runway 27 left. Initial climb to 6,000 feet. Departure on 125.625 squawk 3627.
break view. Departure runway 27 left, initial climb to 6,000 feet, departure frequency is 125.625, squawk 3627, Speedbird 0550, good day. So, 3627.
Seabird 0550, read back correct. Ground is on 121.705, safe flight, sir.
Speedbird 0550, good day. Okay, we got 140 passengers out of 166.
Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome aboard British Airways Flight 0550 flying from London to Amsterdam. We're delighted to have you with us today. Please take your seats according to your boarding passes and stow your hand luggage in the overhead bins or under the seats in front of you. If you need any assistance, feel free to reach out to any of our crew members.
On a encore 16
including myself,
passagers embarqués,
Caroline, and
16
my
passengers to
wonderful
go.
colleagues James, Sarah, Emily, and Tom. Thank you, and enjoy your flight.
Speedbird 185. Read back correct. Contact ground on 121.705 when ready.
Hey, Teresa Samantha, thank you for the like. Merci pour le like.
Heathrow clearance, good day, your wings. 7-3 Papa uniform with information Victor. Request IFR clearance to Munich.
Give me 1 second for that clearance.
Boarding complete. Flight attendants, you can close the door. We'll be pushing back momentarily. All right.
Okay, Captain.
So
all doors in
ground
flight.
is 1
Cabin
to
crew, all doors in flight and cross-check.
121.8.
Ladies and gentlemen, a
55.
warm welcome aboard British Airways Flight 0550 flying from London to Amsterdam. We're delighted to have you with us today. Please take your seats according to your boarding passes and stow your hand luggage in the overhead bins or under the seats in front of you. If you need any assistance, feel free to reach out to any of our crew members, including myself, Caroline, and my wonderful colleagues James, Sarah, Emily, and Tom. Thank
Good afternoon, Heathrow ground, Speedbird 0550 requesting pushback and start.
Speedbird 0550, pushback and start approved. Face south.
Facing south, Speedbird 0550, good day.
Release parking brakes.
Throttle view.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Engine 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard British Airways Flight 0550, flying from London to Amsterdam. We're thrilled to have you with us today. Our captain, Alan Shearson, and our first officer, Martin Bouchard, are at the controls, ensuring a smooth flight. Joining me in the cabin are my wonderful colleagues, Emma, Liam, Sophie, and Jack. As we prepare for departure, please ensure your seatbelts are fastened. To fasten your seatbelt, insert the metal tip into the buckle until you hear a click. To unfasten, simply lift the buckle. In the unlikely event of a loss of cabin pressure, oxygen masks will drop down from the panel above you. Pull the mask towards you to start the flow of oxygen. Place it over your nose and mouth, and secure it with the elastic band. Remember to secure your own mask before assisting others.
Well,
For our overwater flight, life
I
vests
choose
are located
nose
under your
left
seats.
and it turned
To
out
use
to be
them,
nose
pull
right.
the vest out, place it over
Doesn't
your head,
matter.
and pull the straps around
Engine
your
1.
waist. Inflate the vest by pulling the red tabs
Engine
or by
1.
blowing into the tubes. In the event of an evacuation, please leave all luggage on board and proceed to the nearest exit. The emergency exits on this Airbus. A320 are located at the front, middle, and rear of the cabin. Please take a moment to locate the exit nearest to you, keeping in mind that it may be behind you. As a reminder, we are flying for approximately 48 minutes today. After our meal service, I'll be coming around with items from the British Airways highlight.
Set parking brakes.
Throttle view.
Top carriage steak and ale pie and
Waiting your confirmation for good engine start.
to runway 36
Engine systems.
Charlie and Delta.
no cash, eh?
Taxiing to runway 36 via Charlie and Delta Cessna 908 Charlie Echo.
United Tree 24 Heathrow ground taxi to parking via Echo Lima Foxtrot. Have a good day.
United Tree 24, have a good day.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Throttle view. Thank you, Teresa, for the follow. Merci pour le follow. Okay, let's wait until the tug is disconnect. On attend le tug est connecté.
Unlocking gear. Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
All right. Throttle view. Flaps 1. Good afternoon, Heathrow ground. Speedbird 0550 requesting taxi clearance, runway 27 left.
1 second for that clearance. Seabird 0550. Taxi to runway 27 left via Alpha. Hold short of runway 27 left.
Taxi to 27 left, only short of 27 left, Speedbird 0550, good day. Alright, top panel view. Looks like my webcam just had a crash. I'm just gonna reset it for 1 second. Give me 1 second. It won't be long. Camera settings that I played with earlier. I'm gonna just forget about it. Camera is going berserk. Okay. On.
Falcon 762 Foxtrot Romeo, hold short of runway 24 traffic on final approach.
Holding short of runway 24, Falcon 762
Camera
Foxtrot
made my
Romeo.
computer crash.
Heathrow ground, KLM 1363, ready to push and start.
Okay, we're back.
South, KLM 1363.
Forget the camera. We'll fix it after the stream. Okay. So, overhead panel. Taxi lights. Runway turn on. Co-pilot, you've got the comms.
Roger, I've got the comms.
Alright, let's push.
Archie, shut up.
Oh no! Okay, people, as this will.
Lovely weather for it today.
We will now demonstrate the safety features of this aircraft. Your attention is essential, as this may differ from any aircraft you have flown on before.
What?
Of course, our attention is not what it used to be.
Smoking, vaping, and the use of e-cigarettes is not permitted anywhere whilst on board.
Including the toilets, which have smoke detectors in them.
I'm gonna put my seatbelt on. I had a banana.
Personal devices should have their flight safe mode enabled now.
We're taking off, man. I love you.
Handheld devices must be held securely or placed into a pocket.
Larger devices, including laptops, must be switched off and placed in your luggage for takeoff and landing. I wasn't feeling that story anyway.
Please unplug your devices.
Come on, what's wrong with the tiller?
They must also be switched off and unplugged when not being used during the flight.
If you lose your device within the seat, please don't move the seat yourself. Ask a member of the crew for some help.
The new tiller, I've got to get used to it.
Or carefully above in an overhead locker, so it doesn't block any aisles or exits. Oh, sorry.
That's fine. Please check your seatbelt is fastened securely and worn whenever the signs are on.
You know what this needs? Belt.
It is fastened and adjusted like this and opened like this.
If you're sitting in one of our first or Club World seats with a shoulder strap,
Come on, tiller,
please ensure
what's
that
wrong?
This is also attached for takeoff and landing. It is adjusted like this and opened like this.
For your comfort and safety, we recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened and visible at all times.
If the cabin air supply fails, oxygen will be provided. A mask will appear automatically.
If you're wearing a face mask, please remove it before putting on the oxygen mask. Stay in your seat, pull the oxygen mask towards you, and place it over your mouth and nose, and breathe normally, adjusting the band to secure it.
Please note the bag
Oh,
may
we
not
see the
inflate.
Concorde.
You may
Yeah,
need to pull
on
on
vue
the coloured
Concorde.
streamer to release your mask.
Ensure your own mask is fitted before helping anyone else.
Your life jacket is underneath or beside your seat.
If required, remove the jacket from its container and pull it over your head.
Embraer 225 Echo Mike, continue taxi on taxiway Lima, hold short of taxiway Bravo.
To inflate, pull the red toggle. The air can be topped up by using this mouthpiece.
There is a light for attracting attention. And who doesn't love attention?
Excuse me, love.
Throttle to 10%.
Please do not inflate your life jacket until you are outside the aircraft.
Throttle to idle.
Throttle to idle.
Should we need to evacuate, move quickly to the nearest useful
Speedbird
exit.
0550, contact
nothing
tower on
with you.
124.48. Have a good afternoon.
will guide you to an exit.
Switch to tower on 124.48. Speedbird 0550. Please locate your nearest exit.
Remember, it may be behind you.
Opening the doors automatically inflates the evacuation slides.
Oh, high heel shoes must be taken off.
Speedbird 0550, afternoon, holding short of 27 left, ready for takeoff.
Open for taxi, takeoff, and landing.
Please note the red
Speedbird
handle in the club suite is for
0550,
emergency
Heathrow
use
Tower,
only.
runway 27 left. Wind 270 at 7, cleared for takeoff.
Please refer to the instructions
All right.
inside your seat
Runway
area.
27 left, cleared
Please
for takeoff.
now, check your
Speedbird
seat is in the takeoff
0550.
position with the armrest down.
Your table folded away.
Personal devices unplugged. And window blinds are open or set to clear.
If you have a footstool or a video screen, please store these now.
All this important information can be found on your safety card in your seat area. This includes brace positions.
This is the brace position. If your seat is fitted with a shoulder strap, you must adopt this position.
All right. Wing stroke. Front view. Throttle to idle.
Idling throttle.
Right. And we are rolling. Throttle to toga. 120 knots. 140. V1. Rotate. Wheel view. Positive rate, we're up.
Raising the gear.
Front view.
Speedbird 0550, contact departure on 125.625.
Switching to departure on 125.625, Speedbird 0550. Bonanza 64 Foxtrot Alpha 2, hold short of runway 30 traffic on final.
Holding short of runway 30 Bonanza 64 Foxtrot Alpha 2.
Heathrow radar, Speedbird 0550, afternoon, climbing past 1500.
Speedbird 0550, Heathrow radar identified. Direct D
Throttle to
268
climb.
Delta.
Autopilot on.
Autopilot is now on.
Speedbird 0550, Heathrow radar, climb flight level 230.
FCU.
Climbing flight level 230, Speedbird 0550.
$10,000 feet check.
Dear guests, we are now above the safe altitude, and I'm pleased to inform you that the use of electronic devices is now allowed. Feel free to connect to our onboard Wi-Fi service as well. If you have any questions or need assistance, don't hesitate to ask any of our crew members. Thank you.
Overhead panel. Cabin crew, the seatbelt sign is now turned off.
Okay, Captain, the seatbelt sign is off. I'll let the passengers know they can move about the cabin.
PFD. PFD.
Speedbird 0550, climb flight level 270.
FCU.
Mooney 56 Alpha Bravo, right to the VOR, descend to 4000. Right to the VOR, descending to 4000, 56 Alpha Bravo. Climb flight level 270, Speedbird 0550.
All right.
Hello, person, and welcome to you all. Welcome back to Executive Club members and One World frequent flyers. If there is arms or anything we can take to make our journey more comfortable this evening, please let one of us know. Recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened whenever you are seated. There must be a security fastened whenever the seatbelt sign is switched on. If you are seated in that first or critical cabin this evening, please do take care that your personal electronic devices do not get lost beneath the seat. If it does, please ask a member of my team, but do not move the seat.
Speedbird 0550, contact London Control on 127.43. switching to London control on 127.43. Speedbird 0550.
Oops.
London control, Speedbird 0550. Good afternoon. We're climbing through flight level 180 up to flight level 270. Speedbird 0550. London control identified. Good afternoon. Maintain Mach 78. Maintaining Mach 78, Southwest 887. London control, clear to San Francisco. After departure, vectors to Ulat. Departure runway 9 right. Initial climb to 6,000 feet. Departure on
25,000 feet check.
05 squawk, 5212 Speedbird, 285 space. Heathrow Center, Speedbird 5, request IFR clearance to Tokyo Minute.
We're getting ready to cross over the pond. On s'apprête à traverser la Manche. Ben, la Manche un peu plus bas, mais... $27,000 feet, check. PFD.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now reached cruising altitude, and I'm pleased to inform you that we will be starting our snack and drink service shortly. You can look forward to enjoying our delicious Tom Kerridge steak and ale pie for just £4.50, or perhaps a We'll be coming around with some articles from the British Airways shop, so stay tuned for that. Thank you for your attention, and we hope you enjoy the flight.
Speedbird 0550, London Control. Expect the Redfish 1 Alpha arrival. Descent in about 5 minutes. Expect the Redfish 1 Alpha arrival. Descent in about 5 minutes. Speedbird 0550. Southwest 912, proceed direct to the Blanc intersection. Direct to Blanc intersection, Southwest 912.
And center Hammer 01.
Hammer 01. Roger, continue as planned and remain outside controlled airspace.
Continue as planned, and we are passing Sambra Lock at this time.
05, Sierra Mike traffic alert 2 o'clock, 4 miles opposite direction. Traffic in sight, Cirrus 555, Sierra Mike.
Ryanair 6 Tango Juliet, London Control identified. Good afternoon.
London Control, Seabird 77 Kilo. Is there a altitude restriction for CPDLC for this for the London Control, or do I request that with the next controller? Speedbird 0550. Cleared Redfish 1, Alpha arrival in Schiphol. Cleared Redfish 1 Alpha arrival in Schiphol. Speedbird 0550.
Let's request our flight level to 200.
Requesting descent to flight level 200.
London Control, Speedbird 0550, requesting descent to flight level 200. Speedbird 0550, descent flight level 200. Descending flight level 200, Speedbird 0550.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now left our cruising altitude and have started our approach to Amsterdam. At this time, I kindly ask everyone to return to your seats, stow your tables, and fasten your seatbelts. Please note that the use of the lavatories is no longer allowed. Thank you for your cooperation as we prepare for landing.
Request flight level 100.
Speedbird 0550, descend flight level 130.
I am unable to handle that request, Captain.
130.
Descending flight level 130, Speedbird 0550. Cirrus 555, Sierra Mike traffic alert 2 o'clock, 4 miles opposite direction. Traffic in sight, Cirrus 555, Sierra Mike.
Hey, thanks for the likes, Mad Dude. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Merci pour le like. Let's close our spoiler. 17,000 feet check.
Speedbird 0550. Contact Amsterdam radar on 118.805.
Switching to Amsterdam radar on 118.805.
PFD.
Speedbird 0550.
PFD.
Amsterdam radar, Speedbird 0550. Good afternoon. We're descending through flight level 170 down to flight level 130.
Speedbird 0550. Amsterdam radar identified. Afternoon pilot.
Overhead panel. Cabin crew have now turned on the seatbelt sign.
Okay, Captain, the seatbelt sign is on.
Cabin crew, 20 minutes to landing.
Okay, Captain, 20 minutes to landing.
Speedbird 0550. Contact Sheerfall approach on 118.08.
Switching to Schiphol approach on 118.08. Speedbird 0550.
13,000 feet check.
Schiphol approach, Speedbird 0550. Good afternoon, descending to flight level 130. Currently passing through flight level 130.
Speedbird 0550. Schiphol approach identified. Good afternoon. Expected ILS runway 27 approach into Schiphol.
Expecting the ILS runway 27 approach into Schiphol. Speedbird 0550.
Air Canada 235, hold at waypoint Briggs. Expect further clearance in 10 minutes. Holding at Briggs, waiting for further clearance. Air Canada 235.
Lufthansa 4 November Victor, contact Schiphol Tower on 118.105.
Lufthansa 4 November, subject from the final approach runway 36.
We're 55 nautical miles to our destination. Sorry guys for my webcam just crashed in midair, so we'll fix it up tomorrow. Request flight level 70.
Requesting descent to flight level 70.
Schiphol approach, Speedbird 0550, requesting descent to
Thanks
flight
for
level 70.
the follow, thank you.
Speedbird 0550. Descend. Flight level 70 to level 711.
Descending flight level 70. Speedbird 0550.
Let's turn on our spoiler.
Speedbird 0550, descend. Flight level 030, turn right, heading 095 vectors for the ILS runway 27 approach.
Descend flight level 030, right heading 095.
FCU.
Vectors for the ILS runway 27 approach. Speedbird 0550.
Overhead panel. Wait. 10,000 feet check.
Captain, cabin is ready. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now beginning our final approach into Amsterdam. At this time, I kindly ask everyone to turn off your electronic devices and stow them until you arrive at the gate. Please return your tray tables to their upright position. Ensure your
KLM
seats are
665,
fully
skip on
upright.
approach, radar
And fasten
identified.
your seatbelt.
Climb and maintain flight
Our
level
British
100.
Airways staff on the ground will provide you with information regarding your connecting flights. Thank you for your cooperation.
KLM 665, contact Amsterdam radar on 118.805.
Cabin crew take positions for landing.
Okay, Captain, cabin crew, take seats for landing.
Thanks for sharing. Track our spoiler.
Speedbird 0550, turn left, heading 085.
Left heading 085. Speedbird 0550.
1323, you're following the 767, 12 o'clock and 6 miles. Following the 767 Pacific 1323.
Climb flight level 230, Michael 738.
Climbing flight level 290, EC1 parking. KLM 32 Papa, contact the Schiphol Tower on 118.105.
I passed through this area about 4 weeks ago, 3-4 weeks ago, on a cruise from Amsterdam. Pass through that canal on a beautiful sunset. Alright, so while we wait for arrival, let's turn on our auto brake to medium. Let's arm this auto spoiler. Let's slow down to 225. 226. About 2,000 feet. Let's put flaps to 1.
UPS 1302, heavy descend to 5,000, expect RNAV approach runway 21. Descending to 5,000, expecting RNAV 21, UPS 1302, heavy.
5 hours, expecting the EGLL approach arrival into Rotterdam Airport.
See the beautiful Amsterdam.
We are ready for a bumpy ride.
Cruise ship terminal over here.
Schiphol approach, Piper after Lima Kilo Hotel. What is our designated altitude at this point?
Let's turn on our landing system.
Speedbird 0550. Turn right heading 110.
Turning right heading 110, Speedbird 0550.
Speedbird 0550, 8 miles from Tidebow. Turn right heading 185, descend altitude 2000 until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS, Astral runway 27 approach.
Right heading 185, descend to 2000 until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 27 approach. Speedbird 0550.
2,500.
It's reduced to 200 knots. Reduce our speed to 180. And flaps 2. Oh, 27. Zero. Turning on our approach.
Waco 432 Delta Echo cleared for the visual runway 9er report 3 mile final.
Cleared visual runway 9er report at 3432 Delta Echo.
Climb flight level 290, Alpine 12 Bravo Yankee. Climb flight level 330, Alpine 12 Bravo Yankee.
Alpine 12 Bravo Yankee, contact Amsterdam radar on 118.805.
Speed 160.
Speedbird 0550. Contact Schiphol Tower on 118.105.
Switching to Schiphol Tower on 118.105. Speedbird 0.
Landing lights on.
Schiphol Tower. Speedbird 0550. Afternoon. We're established on the ILS approach for runway 27.
Speedbird 0550. Schiphol Tower. Winds 275 at 16. Runway 27. Cleared to land.
Runway 27. Cleared to land. Speedbird 0550.
I see the runway. 1 o'clock. All right. So we got our flaps to 3. Wheel view. Gear down. All right. So we got 3 greens, medium, the brake to medium, spoiler to auto, and we'll go 140, full flaps. Our approach as disengage, counting when we put the flaps on. On the glide slope.
1000.
Continue.
Skylane 422 Alpha Mike, extend downwind spacing for departing traffic.
Christine.
Skylane 422 Alpha Mike.
Belle journée pour faire de la moto.
Ground 12156, Diego 361. Bye bye.
Shipper Tower KLM 18 1255, holding short, runway 18 left, ready for takeoff. Clear for takeoff of KLM
500.
Continue. Pilot off.
400. $200. $50. 40. 30. 20. Retard.
Throttle
Retard.
off. Touchdown. Nose down. Full brakes, reverse thrust. Retracting spoiler and flaps. Brakes.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until
Speedbird
the final seatbelt
0550.
has been switched
Welcome
on.
to Schiphol.
You may now use
Contact
your
ground
mobile phone
on 121 decimal 5 6.
When it is safe to leave your seats, be careful
Switching to
when
ground on
exiting the
121 decimal 56, Speedbird 0550.
fall out and cause injury. Before leaving the aircraft, please make sure you have all of your personal belongings with you. And remember that smoking is not
Schiphol
allowed
ground,
until you've
Speedbird
reached a
0550,
designated area.
afternoon. We're clear of runway 27 and ready to taxi to the gate.
Speedbird 0550, Schiphol ground, taxi to H7, B November 3, Bravo, A19 West, A19 East. Have a good day.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Amsterdam. We have just landed safely, and on behalf of
7
Captain
via
Alan
November 3,
Shearson,
Bravo, Alpha
First
19
Officer
West,
Martin
Alpha
Bouchard,
19
and the
East.
entire
Speedbird
crew,
0550.
thank you for flying with British Airways today. Please remain seated with your seatbelts fastened until we reach the final parking position.
Request progressive taxi with big red arrows.
Canals, which are a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Also, it's home to the world's first stock exchange. The local time here is 1:17 p.m. Thank you for choosing to fly with us, and we hope to see you again soon.
I'll request progressive taxi instructions for you.
Landing lights, taxi, runway
Schiphol ground,
wings.
Speedbird 0550, requesting progressive taxi instructions concerning red olives.
Red olives. Welcome to Amsterdam.
Airbus 450, Alpha Bravo, continue taxi, turn right at the next intersection, hold short of runway 30. Continuing taxi, turning right at the next intersection, holding short of runway 30, Airbus 450, Alpha Bravo.
Tweejet 428, push and start approved, face southeast.
Push and start approved, face southeast, Tweejet 428.
All ground, good afternoon, EC15 Yankee with you at stand Hotel 3. Request push and start clearance.
Next thing, I gotta check with my camera. What the hell? Where the hell are they taking us? Which gate? The last gate. My camera, c'est la my camera is, I think it's the only thing that's more than 10 years old. It's pretty old. I gotta change it. There's no jetway here. Parking brake, lights, no smoking, engines are off, seatbelt signs is off. Whoops, where am I?
Passenger's bus is coming.
Oh, there's gonna be a bus? That's a bust. No jetway. Let's wait for the bus. Bus is coming.
Airbus 450 Alpha Bravo, hold short of taxiway Charlie, awaiting further instructions. Holding short of taxiway Charlie, Airbus 450 Alpha Bravo.
Tower 118, decimal 105, KLM 1025.
Alright, so that's it for this flight. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the likes and the follow. Merci à tout le monde pour les likes et les follow. Until next time, keep watching Sims, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.